Welcome to the KOLE Thrust KT engine project, where I'm attempting to build a flying machine that's propellantless, electric, and can go anywhere, including in space. Here it is. I'll give you all the latest on it. 4 volts. 6 volts. Well, that's it for that. You'll see more at the end there. So here's the pieces I've been making with my 3D printer. That's the main body, of course. I'm giving you a rundown of how I built this. It's been a decade-long project. They're the magnets I use. They're in the wheels, by the way. They're 8mm by 8mm by 8mm square magnets, neodymium magnets. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, there's 4 wheels. They're impact wheels, or impact thrusters, I should say. The whole idea is to impart rotational centripetal energy with magnets into a plate using 4 motors. These motors are high powered, 200 watt, 30,000 RPM, 24 volt motors. It's 4 of them, so they end up being in a cross formation, and the wheels will spin 2 counterclockwise and 2 clockwise. That's one of the wheels there with all the magnets inside. There's 16 magnets in total. So when it runs at 30,000 RPM, when it gets to that point, there's 8,000 impulses per second into a top plate, which you'll see. So there's the motor installed into the body, some lugs on the bottom there, some diodes to stop the electricity backflowing into my power box. So I've got to use a power box to power this whole device. Just as a concept for now. Later on it'd have its own power source and would use remote controls to fly. But at this point in time, I'm just using a power bank here. It converts AC electricity to 24 volts. Unfortunately, this box here is only a few amps in power, and you'll see later. In my first running of it, it didn't have enough power to run all 4 motors, of course. But I'll show you further on in the video what I did with that. So here's one of the wheels attached to the electric motor. So if this flies, which it will, it's only a matter of time. I haven't got it there yet, so you'll see. Later on down the track, I'll be adding more videos for you to see once it's fully flying. It should be able to lift off from the ground and go, I've calculated, anywhere on the planet within 53 minutes. So that's the aim. Anyway, I've attached to a heavy block of wood, so if when it does lift off the block of wood, it doesn't go through the roof. So I've got some elastics, some hair ties actually, to rope and bolt it down there. So it can only lift about 15 centimeters off the board there. I can adjust those so it can lift higher or less. That's my bundle of wires there with all the diodes to stop blowing up my power bank in case it backfeeds electricity into it. Which it didn't. It's been running pretty good actually. So there's another view from the top, all 4 wheels in the cross formation. Here's a video. I think I'm going to spin up one of the wheels here just to test it. So the idea is just to see that it all runs, and it does run. This is before I've put the top plate on, and when I put the top plate I have to take that cable and run it down. The KOLE Thrust, that's my surname, Cole. It's a unique design. I don't believe it's been done anywhere in the world, and the special part of it is the wheels. I'll show you later in the wheels what I mean by special design inside the wheels. Yeah, I'll go into more details with that. So it does run. I've just tested it all, made sure they're all running 2 counterclockwise and 2 clockwise. So the whole thing won't spin in one direction. It will lift instead of rotating around. So that was good to see. And that's when I realised I don't have enough power in that power bank to run them all to 30,000 RPM, full 24 volt power. So I've ordered some other ones in the mail, and they come, and you'll see those in a moment in the video. So it's all using my Anycubic 3D printer, epoxy resin. There's the lid, or the impact plate. So I've put little magnets inside the 4 corners, which are the same as the ones that are in the wheel, and they both have the north facing polarity, so they push against each other. When that plate goes on top, there's me there. It's quite achievement getting that out of the 3D printer. It didn't print perfectly. I had to do some modifications and fix it to get it to sit in, slide into the actual base. And that top plate slides up and down and is bolted into position with spacers and some long bolts. All the bolts and all the attachments I've been buying is stainless steel, so it doesn't interfere as much with the magnets inside the wheels or inside the plate there. I made that top plate pretty thick so it could take the 8mm magnets in there, square magnets. And then I've got little plates, little plastic resin plates, which push down onto that with a bit of super glue so they don't fly out or come out. That's just checking the polarity that I've put them in the right way, that they don't attract to the wheel. I want them to be repelled by the wheel. The wheel, as it spins, repels against the plate, and the plate is attached to the whole body. That's the whole idea behind this project, which I've been working for over a decade now. It's been a while. I had a small little tiny one that I made, I think 13 years ago now, and then I put it away because it didn't fly. It was only out of thin aluminium cans folded into the shapes, and it was tiny little motors. So this is the next version up, once I got my 3D printer, and I was happy with it and got excited again. I thought, I'm going to build this. So I started this months and months ago. It's been a slow process, ordering all the parts from overseas and getting the parts and putting it together in whatever spare time I have, which isn't much. I do work full time, so I try to put in as much time as I can into this project, and also spend time with the wife and the daughter and doing other stuff. So it's not just sitting in my lab. So that's the spacer there that goes in between with the big bolts that go through it, so I can bolt that in at different heights. And I used some icy pole sticks or some paddle pop sticks or ice cream sticks to get my heights level on all 4 corners. There it is, it's sitting in there. And the cable comes in from underneath, and I put a cushion underneath it, so if it does fly up, there's the sticks there. When it falls back down, when I turn the power off, it lands softly on a cushion rather than on the hard wooden board. I don't want to break everything. There's my power packs I got, 10 amp, 30 volt power packs, 2 of them. So one goes to one set of wheels and one goes to the other set. So 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. That's how I've set it up. There's a bit of a cable there, which I'm trying to counterbalance it all. Because I did run it, and that whole unit weighs about 3 kilos. Just under 3 kilos, 2.97 kilos. Here we go. I'm flying it now. Oh. This is the end result. We'll see what happens. Yes, so that's what happened the other week. I had to push it. Yeah, the 2 power packs weren't even enough. So I've ordered 2 more. So I'm going to have 4 of them, 10 amps for each motor. Catastrophic failure. I did have a lot of safety gear on. I've just taken it off. That's that counterweight that I had, 2 kilos. So I was trying to lift 1 kilo of weight. There's 2 kilo counterweight attached to the ceiling. So I was in effect trying to lift off the ground only 1 kilo and 1 kilogram, 1,000 grams, and it didn't move. I saw what happened to the wheel. There's my safety gear, and I've got some other gear on my clothes and a welding vest underneath and some heavy duty clothing. Anyway, parts went flying everywhere, on the floor, up on the ceiling. You'll see I didn't end up breaking any of my computer bits or screens anywhere, which I was a bit amazed. I was thinking about putting a guard around it, but I will do that on the next one. I had to push it. If I didn't push it, I wouldn't know if it would fly or not. And the wheel started to vibrate out of sync. And I know what I've done wrong. I've only got, the wheels are spinning at, I got it to about 20,000 RPM. So about 16 volts I got it to. There's the 2 power packs. They survived, that's good. So I've got 2 more of those coming, so I'll have 4 in total, 1 for each wheel, 1 for each corner. And so there's only 1 magnet above the wheels, and if it's off by 0.5 millimeter, it means it's pushing the wheel sideways rather than straight down. Got to watch my next video about the wheels. I'll give you more details. Those wheels are the special part. There's a special part about the wheels, which I'll explain in the next video. But everything broke apart. He even smashed the corner off there, as you can see, magnets everywhere, even on the ceiling. Made a nice square mark in the ceiling. Yeah, little spaces to space the magnets out. They're everywhere. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a couple of magnets in the top section angled towards the wheel, 1 on each side of the wheel, so it helps keep the wheel centralized, stopping it from bending outwards or inwards. So that's what I'm doing with the next wheels. I'm going to modify, I'm not using those wheels again. I'll take them off and I'll remake 4 new type of wheels actually, and better improved wheels. But the top itself, I'll be taking that off and remaking that with new magnets in it on angles. But anyway, I survived the catastrophic failure, which I was expecting. It was either going to fly or it was going to explode, one or the other. I was hoping for it to fly before it came apart, but it didn't. So I only got it to 66% of its top speed, so I still have another 33% I can crank out of those little motors. So they only went to about 20,000 RPM, so I can get them to 30,000, and that will give me 8,000 impulses into the top plate. So you got the transmission, the transmitters, so the wheels, they transmit the centripetal force of the magnets flying outwards, but they can't fly out because they're encased in the wheel, but sending that energy into the top plate, which is the receiver plate, receiving the energy from the magnets as it pushes against the top plate. And hopefully, if I've got enough impulses in there and the plate's close enough to the wheel, there I am. Bit disappointed, but knew it was coming. The next version will hopefully be the one that flies, and hope you follow my little journey. Anyway, thank you.